What up, guys? Anti-tier guild forever, whatever you want to call me. We're going to be reviewing Shiki chapters 2, 3, 4, and 4.5. And I'm not gonna lie to you, this manga is actually pretty good. It has a lot of potential, really good potential, especially since we've already developed quite a bit of elements to make a pretty good story. Number one, we introduced the characters in the first chapter. Number two, we've shown backstory while having other elements implemented of the history between Happy and Rebecca. And it turns out, which was really sad, is that Happy in the backstory with Rebecca was abandoned. We don't know why, but yeah. And then one time he died. He died to the point that he had to become a robot. But here's the question. If Happy became a robot, is it like his entire body is masked in like a robot? Like he has a robot body, but his brain is mortal. So what I'm trying to say is the only thing that's intact of his old self is just his brain? Because otherwise, this robot may not even be the same Happy that she remembered at the time when she was younger. It could just be that he's just a robot, but programmed similar to the old Happy. Either way, I really enjoy this series because it's showing you that Fairy Tail has Hiro Mashima's stories are truly evolving. It went from Fairy Tail to like the power of friendship conquers all, to this series to where the power of friendship is so powerful it even goes further beyond to say there's no bounds to how far friendship can go, that even a human and a machine could have a wonderful forming friendship, which I do enjoy. That it shows that the power of friendship is boundless. And I am curious of one thing. Is Shiki a robot? I know he uses ether gear, which is known as magic, magic from the Dark Ages. But what does that mean? Because everyone keeps saying, is he going to be someone that would bring peace to the cosmos, or is he going to bring great disaster? Is it because he's the grandson of the Demon King? And if that's so, how can the Demon King have a grandson? Wasn't the Demon King a robot? And if that's the case, does that mean Shiki is a robot? I don't know. I mean, he's known to be human, and is even mentioned that by the robots that he's the only human on that was in Grand Bell. But I don't know. It's just Shiki is a very interesting person. We know somewhat of his backstory, but we need to know more about him in depth. Like, why does he know ether gear, Dark Age magic? What is his affiliation to the demon? Yes, I know it's his grandson, but why? And what is exactly the Demon King? What is he? And why is Shiki known as this like child of prophecy, like some person that will either become a great hero or a great disaster? Now, the reason why I say either a great disaster or a great hero is because you would think if you are the grandchild of someone known as the Demon King, you would think he's a huge threat. He's going to be a disaster. But no, they say either a huge disaster or a big hero. Now, why do they go with hero? Could it be because maybe his grandmother or something? Maybe depending on his parents' heritage. Because honestly, we know a little bit about Shiki, but he's still kind of a mystery at this point. We need to know further to get more insight on his character. Because right now, again, for the most part, Shiki is a character that makes me raise more questions than have answered with. We already got plenty of information with Rebecca and her backstory with Happy. She's basically a video, like an online video content provider, while at the same time she has this friendship with an X-Seed. Well, I'm not sure if you can call Happy an Exceed because Happy technically died and became a robot, which is really sad. And so it makes me wonder if like eventually they'll go to a planet known as Exceed. Oh man, a lot happened in these chapters, especially when they went to the laboratory or the home of uh Weiss Steiner, and he doesn't remember Rebecca or Happy. And then Rebecca and Happy, the moment they saw him, they didn't recognize him. So obviously this Weiss isn't the same one they got to know back then. So that's a bit of a mystery, that in and of itself. But another big thing that has me concerned, the main thing, the main focus of these chapters is toward the end of chapter 4, and there's what it looks to be some astronauts that were exploring some kind of destroyed city or whatever, and then they found one of Rebecca's cubes, the cubes that she uses, and one of it was written Eden 0. And then they found like a woman and a cat. I think that's what they said. I don't remember. But they found certain people that apparently perished, probably due to a disaster. And this is apparently 20,000 years later from the current timeline. So does that mean at some point in time in the series, like the flashback that we got early on in these 4 chapters, is that going to be something we get more details of later toward the end of the manga? Or is this something that will be like mentioned further, like just a little bit further into the story? Because that did brought my attention quite a bit, because wow, 20,000 years later, and then it looked like, from what it seems, a planet or a ship. Was that the planet of Norca, something like that? Or was that Rebecca's ship? I don't know. Like, that last chapter really threw me for a loop. But yeah, overall, this is getting really, really interesting. We got quite a few characters, interesting ones, like seeing like the cameo for Levi and her group. And then we saw a cameo for not a cameo, but we saw Urza, but her in this manga, she is known as Elise. And then we saw this girl, Lalibia. I think that's how you say it. Lalibia, who is basically an older, thoughty version of Wendy. Okay then. But overall, their main goal is to see Mother, is to see this all-powerful goddess known as Mother, and then Shiki says, "I feel like I've met her before." Now I know that's probably, I'm thinking one of two things. It's either one, maybe he's met her when he was a child, and she could possibly be Shiki's grandmother. I'm not sure. This is just a guess. Or I don't know. I'm thinking maybe sometime in there was an incident where she came down to the planet of Granbell and got to meet Shiki as he was growing up. Maybe when he was a kid, he was able to meet her. Because remember in the beginning of chapter 1 of Eden 0, we get a picture of what we see is the Demon King. I'm assuming that weird guy with the horns and whatnot was the Demon King. And Shiki as a kid. And then Shiki is like, what is that in the sky? And he said it's known as a dragon. And when he saw the dragon, maybe he got to know the Mother Cosmos? I'm not sure. I'm thinking maybe because right now Shiki is like 15, maybe older. Who knows? And while he was growing up, maybe he got to know her, but he doesn't remember because it may have happened so long ago. But still, yeah, like I said, guys, for the most part, this manga is doing pretty good. I'm actually enjoying it very much so, more than I thought I would. But yeah, with that said, let's just get to the questions. Question 1. If you were to have a little bot companion, what type would you want it to be? A chibi human? A chibi animal? Or some kind of chibi alien? Like, if you were to have like a little bot companion, how would you have them resemble more, an animal or a human? Let me know in the comment section below for question 1. Question 2. What is a good question to... Trying to think. Don't have one in mind. Okay, how about this? If you were to have one character, one random character from Hiro Mashima's previous work, cross over and befriend the group that we have right here and currently in the manga that I know of for Eden Zero. If you could have one character from Mashima's work that you feel like would fit in greatly with Shiki, Rebecca, and Happy, who would it be, and explain to me why? Anyway, guys, that's it for me. Don't forget to like, comment, sub if you haven't already. Really motivates me to put more content out there for you guys as my guildmates, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace.